At first glance, private colleges appear to be radically more expensive than their state university counterparts. For instance, in the 2018-19 school year, the average published price for in-state tuition and fees for a public university was $10,230. For the same year, the average published price for an undergraduate student at a private college was $35,830. That is more than 3 times as much. However, in the world of private colleges, there's a big difference between the tuition that is published and what students actually pay. Of the $35,000 sticker price, the average student actually only pays $14,000. The difference is primarily covered by scholarships granted by colleges. Some of these scholarships are funded by gifts or endowments, but many of these scholarships are actually provided by a practice known as discounting. Discounting happens when a college simply knocks $20,000 off the published price of tuition and says that it was a scholarship. In the 2017 to 18 academic year, the average college discounted 50% of their freshman tuition through scholarships simply by reducing the college's sticker price. The practice of discounting gives private colleges several advantages. First, it allows private colleges to set their tuition rate ridiculously high. This high price signals that this school is extremely prestigious and exclusive. And you know it's exclusive because it costs 3 times as much as a state university down the street. Think of buying a bottle of wine. I don't want to buy wine that seems cheap. Instead, I want my wine to seem expensive while still being affordable. If the wine has been marked down from $65 to $8 and has a pretty chateau on the label, then I'm buying it. And this instinct is what private colleges are taking advantage of when they discount. They're able to appear very expensive while actually being much more affordable than you think. Second, colleges give out discounts because they mark these as personalized scholarships. The recipient of the scholarship believes the actual price of the school is really $35,000 and the discount is a special scholarship. This makes the prospective student believe he has been admitted to an extremely exclusive private college because of how much it costs. And then, on top of that, he mistakenly believes that there is actually $20,000 in a bank account somewhere that has been directed to cover his expenses. But that's not the reality. They just cut the price for him. Third, colleges discount in order to capture maximum tuition revenue from the few families that can actually afford that high price. There are always a few families that are paying the full $35,000 annually, making it possible for the school to offer full rides to select exceptional students. If the college had set their tuition at $15,000, they would have missed out on the opportunity to collect that extra money from the wealthier families. I should note that I don't believe all discounting is inherently evil. I know of some private Christian K-12 schools that do not turn away families because of their finances. This is an act of kindness on the school's part to help these families out. So I think that there can be a legitimate place for a college to simply discount someone's tuition as a way of helping a deserving student afford an education. But the question is, with these discounting strategies, are we seeking to help the poorer students or are we seeking to fleece the wealthy? Finally, it's important to see the way private colleges are subsidized by the federal government. The reality is the percent of private college students receiving federal financial aid is actually higher than the percent of students receiving aid at public institutions. Students at a private 4-year college will receive on average $12,000 in federal aid every year. Students at a public 4-year college will receive on average only $9,000 in federal aid. This also means that the federal government is actually the main contributor to the private college's revenue. It would actually be easier for private colleges to eliminate tuition checks from mom and dad than it would be for these colleges to eliminate the federal money that supports their students. All of this means that private colleges are often hiding the true price tag for the education program they offer. This is hidden by discounting listed prices and by all the federal loans that students get. This means the distinction between public and private universities is not as strong as many think, given that both rely so heavily on government money. This highlights again why the founding principles of New St. Andrews are so important. NSA was started with a strong commitment to not take federal money. This enables us to be a truly private college, free to speak about the problems in higher ed, and we are committed to a reasonable price for college education that is clear and honest. If you would like to follow this conversation, go to our blog where we will continue to post on our unique perspective. The link is in the description, or just go to nsa.edu and click on the blog.